Yeah, I'm Catherine Singleton, and I'm studying history with education in the Education and Social Science department. Yeah, I was looking at the Band of Hope Chronicle, which is part of the periodicals within the Band of Hope Union, and it was considering the education role of the Band of Hope and how the Chronicle helped with that, basically. Because the Chronicle was a periodical that was given out to the workers of the Band of Hope to help them to teach the children within the Band of Hope. The Band of Hope was aimed at this sort of upper working class children, and it was looking at the Livesey collection in the University Library and what we got there and sort of how we can go forward with it, really. Try to put it in as easy terms as possible. It's actually brought up some quite surprising results in that education is typically seen as this sort of structured, rote-taught discipline in the Victorian period, whereas this is exactly the opposite. It's very informal. We sang songs, had poems, recitations and things like that. So it's kind of showing that there were other opportunities for teaching that weren't quite so structured, basically. Things like looking at 19th century periodicals, actually handling 19th century documents, and actually using primary sources and how that can be used to sort of further research and sort of the differences and things like that. I mean, creating a poster was one of the biggest challenges for me, using Photoshop and things like that, because I've never used that before at all. And actually, you know, dealing with images, because it's not something I've ever done. So that sort of thing, because it's difficult to explain because it is very focused on looking at one thing and finding out what you can get from it, basically. I want to go on to a master's and PhD, so obviously any research training that I've got will obviously help with that. So it's going to look cracking on my CV and on applications, basically. Because I've just gone into my third year, and my dissertation and things like that were already picked out before I got this. So I'm not able to use it for that, but it will sort of broaden my scope of research areas for when I go on to do my masters. I've loved it. I've loved every single minute of it, from start to finish. It's just been fun. I think it's the only term to use, really. Just lots of fun.